I'm not suggesting to people that you become blasé about your mistakes, that you just brush them off as, oh, well, that just proves that I'm human. That's not what I'm suggesting at all. What I'm suggesting is don't beat yourself up for those mistakes. Appreciate it is a part of being human, but what makes it not a mistake is when you do something to change it. A mistake only remains a mistake as long as you don't do anything about it. You know, call it God, call it the universe, call the power, whatever you want to call it. But certainly it has been my experience that if there is an important lesson that we're meant to learn in this lifetime and we're not getting it, the lesson does tend to get harder. And it certainly doesn't go away, that's for sure. It does tend to get tougher and tougher until we get our act together and sort it out. And in my experience, both with myself, my personal experience, and with people that I've worked with over the years, when you get it, when you sort out whatever it is that has been putting you in that situation, it doesn't come back ever again. It's gone, and you know, I'm a great one for moving on. See, another beautiful opportunity for people. The ego is my favorite topic, but because the ego just loves to keep us down, and it will take every single opportunity that we give it to keep us in a situation that is not comfortable, because that's where it takes its power from. And so whenever you hear that little voice saying, you know, oh, you screwed up now, or you really made a fool of yourself there, or, you know, whatever the criticism is, again, learn to laugh at yourself. One of the things that I love about the Irish is that, you know, they are the best group of people I've ever met in my lifetime for laughing at themselves. I had a friend in New Zealand who was Irish, and he used to phone me every week for the latest Irish joke, you know, because he wanted to share it with his customers, and I love that. I love that in a person, because when you can laugh at yourself, you know, you've probably discovered the joke of the century. It's said, we talked, I think, the other day about the fact that we are so good, absolutely. If ever there is something that most people are complete professionals in, it's in seeing the negative. It's in automatically going to the negative side of any situation, and so often that is incorrect. I don't talk about right and wrong, but you know, I talk about what makes sense and what doesn't, and you know, when you check things out again, when we think that something is wrong, often it's just a case that we don't have all the information, and you need to check things out. I have an example in my book of where my wife, who is a tidy freak sometimes, one of the things that really screws her up is to come home and find the house untidy. And so I would make a point, I worked from home, and I would make a point of getting out and making sure the kids had cleaned up. And on one occasion, just after I'd moved to Canada, I went back for Christmas, and my wife came home. She had a very, very stressful job. I had been out to make sure the kids tidied up their mess. And anyway, she arrived home, and next thing I hear this screeching from my daughter. And so I quickly went out to see what was going on. And my wife had seen the legs of a Barbie doll sticking out from under the curtain. And she was really going at this little kid. You know, what's this doing there? You know how I like to come home to a tidy house. You know, I think I should make you get all of your dolls and put them in the rubbish bin. You know, just awful stuff. And so this poor little kid, in tears, grabs the doll to her chest and rushes back into her room, sobbing her little heart out. And I asked my wife, I said, you know, how much longer and how much more difficult would it have been to have just checked it out, to just ask, did you leave the doll there? Because I said, you know, the reality was my son Jaron was playing with his soldiers, and he was blasting the Barbie doll. That was his target, and in one of the big explosions that he created, he tossed the Barbie doll and it slid under the curtain. It was him that had done it, not my daughter. And so now we have a very, very unhappy little kid who probably isn't thinking kindly of her mother for no reason at all. What did you achieve? And it's a great lesson. It's something that I think everybody should take into their lives. Before you open your mouth, ask yourself, what result do you want here? And as I said to the kids, you know, if my wife yells at me over something or other, the natural thing is to want to yell back. I'm a fighter. I've been in martial arts all my life, and yeah, you poke me in the eye and you'll have to get a fist in yours. That's my natural reaction. But you know, that's what really separates us from the animals. Animals can't rise above instinct. That's what's kept them alive all these thousands of years. We can. We can override instinct, and that's an incredibly powerful thing. So when I feel that nuclear explosion coming, I ask myself, what result do I want here? And if I yell back, what do you think the result's going to be? It's going to escalate. There's going to be a fight. There's going to be two losers. No matter who is quicker with their tongue, there's going to be two losers, two unhappy people, at least. And if you've got children, there's going to be more losers. And what did you really achieve at the end of it? And so that's what I look for, is, okay, what is the result that I want here? And if I don't want two unhappy people, if I don't want a family of 4 being unhappy, then I've got to find a way of turning the situation around without buying in, without jumping in and being part of it. And I do. And my kids, I think, could honestly tell you that my daughter will be 17 soon. I would almost guarantee that if you asked her, she would tell you that she may have heard one argument in 17 years of her life.